Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're focusing on something I think almost everyone has felt at some point. That stress of needing to speak English when you're traveling.
Especially when you're with a partner and you feel that pressure to handle things.
Exactly. So our mission today is to, find a shortcut. We're deep diving into sources that are all about building that instant confidence for travel.
And the sources are really clear on this. We're not talking about deep grammar rules here.
No, not at all. It's about practical, simple language you can use right away. The goal is to get you past that panic moment.
Okay, let's unpack this.
So why is travel the perfect focus for this?
Well, the sources identify it as a powerful topic for beginners.
Powerful, how so?
Because it forces you to use the language for real needs. Booking a ticket, ordering your meal, asking for directions. It's survival English.
Right.
And if you can succeed there in those basic but high-stakes moments, you build this incredible foundation of confidence.
The thinking is, if you can handle a travel conversation, you can probably handle anything.
Exactly that.
Okay, so let's start with the big universal problem, the one everyone writes in about.
I think I know where you're going with this. The translation trap.
Yes. That feeling when someone asks you a question in English and your mind just goes completely blank.
Oh, that silence. It's so relatable. And the sources say the root cause, especially for learners thinking in, say, Hindi first, is this trap.
Explain that a bit more, the translation trap.
It's when you try to build a perfect, complex sentence in your own language first.
Okay.
And then you attempt to translate it, word for word, into English. That process creates so much friction that you just freeze.
Right. So you're at the hotel reception, and instead of just saying, I need a towel, your brain is trying to construct a beautiful, grammatically perfect paragraph about your need.
Precisely. And it's a waste of mental energy. The key takeaway from all the material is this. You do not need perfect English.
You just need clear English.
Simple, clear English. That's the goal. If you bypass that internal translation and just say the core need, I am hungry, you've communicated successfully.
But I guess the worry for some people is, does simple sound rude?
That is a very important point. And the answer is no, not if you pair it with politeness.
So it's not just what you say, but how you start saying it.
Yes. The sources really stress having a few polite phrases ready to go. So if you do freeze or you forget a word, you don't just stand there in silence.
What do you do?
You can say, oh, I don't know the word, and then you pivot straight to your need. Can you please help me? That combination, simple request, polite tone, it works everywhere.
That feels like a much more manageable goal. It sets us up perfectly for the main solution the sources offer, which is, if the problem is building sentences from scratch, then the solution is to use ones that are already built.
The building blocks.
Here's where it gets really powerful. This idea of English chunks.
Chunks are the perfect cure for the translation trap. I like to think of them as ready-made language packages.
So you're not thinking about grammar at all?
Not at all. You're using recall almost like muscle memory. You just grab the whole phrase you need from your memory. It completely bypasses the grammar part of your brain.
That sounds much faster.
It is. It boosts your fluency immediately. The material we looked at gives just five essential chunks that can handle most of your conversations with a travel partner.
Okay, let's break them down. What's the first one?
The first one is for making joint decisions. It's simply let's plus verb.
Let's plus verb. So, let's go. Let's eat.
Exactly. You're tired, you see a bench, you just say, let's rest. It's instant, it's clear, it's a plan.
Okay, I like that. What about expressing my own feeling? If I want to suggest something based on how I feel.
That's the second chunk for your internal feelings. I feel like plus verbing.
I feel like sleeping.
Yes, after a long journey. Or, I feel like exploring this market. It clearly states what you want to do.
And to make it a conversation, I'd need to ask my partner what they want.
Which brings us to chunk number 3, the collaborative one. Do you want a plus verb?
Do you want to walk? Or do you want to eat now?
Yes. It keeps the decision-making shared and, very simple.
Okay, so we have actions, feelings, and questions. What about practical advice?
That's the fourth one. We should leave verb. This is for logistics and planning.
Like, we should save money.
Or, we should leave early tomorrow. It communicates a necessary action. Very useful.
And the last one?
The one for deadlines. It's time to plus verb.
It's time to check out. The classic hotel panic phrase.
That's the one. It's time to go to the airport. If you master just those 5 structures, you can navigate most partner conversations with a lot more confidence.
And like you said, you also have to talk to strangers. That's where a different set of chunks comes in.
The polite chunks. These are absolutely essential. They manage the conversation for you.
You always start with,
Excuse me. Always.
Then you follow up immediately with, can you please help me? Those two together open the door for a positive interaction. But what if you open the door and they reply really fast or with an accent you can't understand? That's when I think a lot of learners just give up.
You have to be ready for that. Don't just nod and pretend you understood. The sources say you need chunks to control the speed of the conversation.
Like what?
Simple things. Could you repeat, please?
Okay.
And maybe the most important one. Please speak slowly. It is perfectly okay to ask for that.
It's empowering, actually. You're taking control of the communication.
Yes. And if you have a map or a photo on your phone, you just say, I am looking for this place. It's direct and efficient.
Let's see how these chunks work in, a real-ish conversation. The sources had a simple role play about planning a trip.
Yes, and if you analyze it, it's so simple. The question is, where do you want to go?
And the answer is, I want to go to a hill station.
See? Simple present tense, short sentences. There's no complexity, but the idea is communicated perfectly. That is the win.
So if I were planning a trip with you right now, I'd just ask you.
And I would reply simply, I want to go to the beach, but we should book tickets early.
See, that was easy. Okay, let's walk through a toolkit of these short sentences.
Yeah.
Based on the different stages of travel. Let's start with before traveling.
Right. Before you go, it's all about logistics, so you'll use our chunks. We should book tickets early.
Or, my favorite, let's travel light.
And if something goes wrong, you don't need a long story, just, our flight is delayed.
Okay, now we're during travel. The conversation changes a bit.
It does. It becomes about comfort and experience. You check in with your partner. Are you comfortable?
Or you share the moment. The view is very beautiful.
And you use those chunks again. Let's take a short break.
Great. Now the big one. We're at the hotel.
Here, the language needs to be very direct, transactional.
So you walk up to the desk and say,
we have a reservation,
yeah.
And you ask the important questions. Is breakfast included?
Then you get to the room. You might want to say, the room is spacious.
Or the most common travel request in the world, we need extra towels.
Okay, finally, the most critical part of any trip, food and restaurants.
This one is easy. You start with the basic need. I want to try local food.
You give your feedback. Simple is fine. The food is delicious.
Or it's too spicy.
And the one phrase every traveler must know.
Can we get the bill? Short, simple, and universally understood.
Now, to make all of this even better, the sources list some power vocabulary.
Yes, just a few key nouns and adjectives. For nouns, think about logistics. Ticket, passport, map, taxi, location.
The essentials. And for adjectives.
These describe your experience. Comfortable, peaceful, crowded, tiring, or hopefully amazing.
So you can combine these. This place is too crowded.
Exactly. And you can connect it to a chunk. This place is crowded. We should leave early. See how you just built a complex thought with simple pieces?
It's all starting to connect. Which brings us to the most important part of this whole deep dive, really.
The mindset.
Yes. You can know all the chunks in the world, but if you're too scared to speak, they're useless.
The core message in all the sources. Don't fear mistakes. You have to accept them as part of learning.
It's a skill, not a performance.
Precisely. And the practical advice is wonderful. Speak slowly, use simple words, use your hands. Body language helps so much.
I love the tip about smiling while you speak.
It's a game changer. A smile is a universal signal of friendliness. It puts you and the other person at ease. The focus shifts from your grammar to just connecting.
Before we talk about how to practice this, The sources highlight two very common mistakes that are easy to fix.
Yes, and fixing them gives you a quick confidence boost. The first one is dropping the article the. A beginner might say, I am going to hotel.
When it should be.
I am going to the hotel. Such a small word, but it makes a big difference.
What's the second common one?
Adding an unnecessary word, usually about. Learners often say, we discussed about the plan.
But you just say.
We discussed the plan. Just remove the about. It's cleaner, it's correct, and it shows that simple is usually better.
So to make all of this a habit, to really break that translation cycle, we need a daily routine.
Yes. And the sources provide a very clear 30-minute daily plan. It's brilliant.
It's broken into 3 10-minute parts. The first 10 minutes is listening.
Right. And not just listening to anything. You should listen to slow, clear English. The goal isn't just to understand, but to hear the sounds, the rhythm.
And the second 10 minutes?
This part is crucial. It's shadowing. You repeat simple sentences out loud.
So you're actually saying the travel chunks we talked about?
Yes. You copy the speaker's tone and speed. This builds the physical muscle memory for speaking, so the phrases come out naturally without thinking.
And the final 10 minutes is speaking.
This is where you put it all together. You talk to yourself. You imagine you're talking to your travel partner. You force yourself to create sentences directly in English.
Without translating first.
That's the key. This daily practice builds that direct connection from your thought straight to spoken English.
Okay. So what does this all mean? When we look at everything, the core idea here feels really freeing.
It is. You're not aiming for perfection. You're aiming for connection, for clear communication.
You just need simple English, a consistent daily practice, and I guess the courage to just try.
And we really want to leave you with a final bit of motivation on that.
Yeah.
Please, don't let the fear of one small mistake stop you from making progress.
Any progress is real progress.
It is. And if you can handle ordering a coffee or asking for directions on a trip, you've gained a skill that you can use in every part of your life.
So we want to leave you with one final provocative thought. A challenge, really. The secret to breaking the translation trap for good starts with one small commitment. Right now. Think about the one travel sentence you use the most. Maybe it's, I am hungry, or let's go.
What is that one sentence you can commit to saying directly in English without translating it first the very next time you need it?
Make that small commitment.
Because that single action, that one moment of bypassing the translation in your head is the true beginning of fluency. Happy learning, and of course, happy traveling.
We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.